Good morning and welcome to the MetReport. I'm Anissa, Mohd, Reza.
And I'm Cecilia, Perez-Najera. Let's get started.
If you've driven to campus this week, you've probably noticed the construction crews working along 7th Street between Walnut Street and Auraria Parkway. While students have been getting Auraria alerts about the ongoing repair, it seems the road will be blocked off for some time. The repair began on November 8th in a campus alert from AHEC that stated, Xcel Energy is repairing a leak and we do not anticipate any interruption to gas service on campus. We will update you when the road reopens. All parking lots and garages on 7th Street remain open and can be accessed by Colfax Avenue. It was also made clear in the alert that street closure will last until further notice, with no real timetable provided for students. According to numbers from spring 2019, around 30% of students and staff on Auraria campus commute solely by car, which makes this extended road closure even more difficult for students. We will continue to provide updates as AHEC does.
It was National First Generation Week, and MSU Denver joined in to help celebrate all the new arrivals on campus. I got the opportunity to check out the week's long event. Here's what I found. 58.4% of MSU Denver students are first-generation students, and the First Generation Initiatives program partnered with several other organizations like TRIO and CMEI to plan an entire week's worth of events devoted to the celebration of first-generation students. First Gen Initiatives had 4 events planned throughout the week students could attend with plenty of advice, snacks, and swag.
We are celebrating National First Gen Week to empower first-generation students. On Tuesday, we had the First Generation kickoff. They can make their own trail mix because they're trailblazers. On Wednesday, we had the imposter syndrome presentation. Today, we have the do's and don'ts of how to serve students. And then tomorrow, we have the employer's tips panel. I want to stop by the Jordan Student Success Building. We're in room 237. This is our lounge space here. And then we also have offices in the back. And so all of our students are working most of the time. So if you have any questions about anything first gen related, please come to our office and we can try to answer all those questions for you.
The events helped first generation students at MSU be more comfortable on campus and find a space where they belong.
Seeing people and finding people who I know are either a part of my community or want to support my community. So when we do these events, it makes me feel like I have people here that are willing and wanting to support me and encourage me.
To top off National First Generation Week here at MSU is a First Generation Employee Panel happening today in the 3rd floor of the Tivoli in room 320. Make sure you stop by to be part of the celebration. For the MetReport, I'm Cecilia, Perez-Najera. As fall break creeps around the corner, the Native Indigenous Student Alliance asks everyone to reconsider the significance of Thanksgiving. Tuesday, November 8th, the Native Indigenous Student Alliance here at MSU hosted a discussion on how Thanksgiving affects Indigenous peoples called The Truth About Thanks-Taking. Guest speaker Donna Chris-John spoke out on the origins of Thanksgiving versus how current society has been educated on the holiday and the harm it causes. Audience members were given pamphlets of literature and encouraged to engage in conversations with others in the event to discuss their own understandings. This was the 2nd event held by the Native Indigenous Student Alliance on campus during Native Indigenous History Month, with more to come.
Are You in the Giving Spirit, a national nonprofit dedicated to facilitating blood and stem cell transplants to those suffering from blood diseases, is coming to campus to let you know how you can help. Be the Match is an organization that assists in connecting patients to donors who can't find matches within their families, to those in need of stem cell transplants for patients with various blood diseases like leukemia and sickle cell. Be the Match will be at MSU tabling all across campus on Thursday, November 17th, and will end the day with a panel featuring Be the Match affiliates and healthcare workers on the 6th floor of the Tivoli in room 640 from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Be sure to stop by and find out what you can do to help.
The end of the semester is fast approaching, and with that, projects and finals are starting to take a toll on students, especially students who are parents here on campus. Well, the Auraria Early Learning Center can provide its fair share to help out.
Located right next to the Boulder Creek building, the Auraria Early Learning Center has been named a Level 5 program, the highest possible rating by Colorado Shines, the rating system for licensed childcare.
Been with the Auraria Early Learning Center for a really long time, and we've been able to watch students who have children be able to go through their whole educational career while their children are cared for here in a safe educational setting. They're getting the high quality education they deserve as well. while in attendance here.
The center continues to offer full-time programs for children ranging between the ages of 12 months to 5-year-olds. Highly qualified teachers who are passionate about early childhood education make up this center.
I'm Stephanie Reed. I am a supervising teacher in the toddler 1-year-old room.
With a curriculum that introduces foundational subjects such as reading, literacy, and math, children are still shown a supporting system with opportunities for self-expression.
We do art and we do music and we have a snack. We play some more. All of my coworkers, it's more of a family and it's just nice to be around people who are like-minded, who have the same vision as you do for the future of the children.
The head director is also happy to announce that the AELC will be giving out a scholarship for student parents that will cover all tuition and fees. For more information, please visit the website provided down below.
The Early Learning Center is here to help you focus on your future while still prioritizing your child's future. Reporting, Sas Montenegro.
Class registration for the spring has begun. Have you been struggling with how to sign up for classes or don't know where to begin? Here's our guide to class registration. If you have not already done so, talking to your advisor is the first step to knowing what courses you should sign up for, or use the degree progress report to see what credits you've completed and which ones you still need. After that, head over to the Student Hub and search for web services. Click on the option that says Register for Classes, then add and drop classes as you need for the spring 2023 semester. And don't forget that students can only register if they are under $2,000 in school dues.
Don't leave, because coming up next,
The Auraria campus hosts an event for Veterans Day.
DIA is expanding a section of the Concourse's terminals.
And Denver's YMCA's band together for a new initiative.
We'll be right back after the break.
Dad?
Being a dad can be transformative, but also a lot of fun. Help prepare your little monster for the outside world. Encourage their interests. Support their growth. Walk them through new relationships.
He's perfect.
Whatever you say.
And prepare them to stand on their own 2 feet.
So much of the good in my life is because of you.
Never stop being a dad.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
It's definitely taken a toll on all of us.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster. COVID shots are safe.
Much safer than getting the virus.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
All throughout the week, there have been veterans events on campus leading up to today. Yesterday, the Tri-Institutional Veterans Day festivities took place in the Tivoli Turn Hall, bringing our 3 colleges together to honor those who have served. The event was attended by retired U.S. Navy Vice Admiral Michael Dumont and President Davidson, who also served in the Navy. Students and staff who attended also got the opportunity to see the Air Force Academy's brass band perform, as well as a showcase of veterans art. Bringing together people from all over Auraria campus, the Veterans Day ceremony was a fitting culmination of gratitude and service after the week. But the Veterans Day isn't over just yet. MSU announced that from 5:30 to 7 p.m. today, all alumni veterans and their guests are invited to a happy hour at the Tivoli Tap House, where they'll be treated to free appetizers and drinks, plus a gift from the university.
Next time you're flying out of Denver, you may notice a new addition to the terminals. DIA celebrated the opening of its newest concourse expansion last Friday. DIA officials held a grand opening celebration to honor the expansion of the western portion of Concourse A. The concourse was part of a 2-year-long plan to add 4 new expansions on both ends of the A and B concourses. The openings of the new areas added another 39 gates as well. The extra gate space will allow the airport to continue pursuing their goal of increasing the amount of flight traffic the airport is capable of holding. Inside the new concourse expansions are modern-style gates, lounges, and an outdoor terrace where passengers can enjoy the sights of departing planes.
2 members of the Denver Fire Department were suspended without pay for falsely declaring a woman dead. Patrick Lopez, formerly a lieutenant in the department, was called to check on an ailing woman with his colleague Marshall Henry. However, when they arrived at the woman's house, it was a police officer by the name of Eugene McComas who checked on her. No medical professionals were present, and the men made the call that she had died. However, McComas took back the statement after seeing signs of life. An ambulance was dispatched, and the anonymous woman prevailed. Now, Henry and Lopez have been suspended by the city and then later demoted. The story made headlines, raising questions about the city's standards of medical oversight. Every year, people come together in Denver for the annual Grilled Cheese Fest, an event put on to help support children's literacy in Colorado. The event took place at the McNoll's building in the Civic Center Park. The proceeds from this event, put on by renowned country singer Dolly Parton, go towards her Imagination Library, a book gifting program that mails free, high-quality books to children from birth to age 5, no matter their family's income.
Tonight we are celebrating with Denver Grilled Cheese Fest. It's our annual fundraiser, and we are extremely happy to be back finally after a few years of a hiatus. So we're just really excited to raise some money for our free to family book program. Anybody in the city and county of Denver can enroll their child under the age of 5 for a free book every single month until the month of their 5th birthday, starting with Dolly's favorite book, The Little Engine That Could.
In addition to the many awards the organization has received, several milestones have been celebrated throughout the years. With each goal achieved, a new one takes its place, creating an ever-growing and expanding organizational culture, much like that of Dolly's Always Keep on Dreaming mindset.
The local YMCAs have played a huge part in developmental learning and growing inside of communities, but in recent years, numbers have dropped partially due to COVID. Our reporter Trenton Sanders met with the YMCA African American Focus Group on their growing future.
Many families in the Denver area have moved away from local YMCAs. Now the community has come together to get more families involved in the areas they need help with.
Regardless of ethnicity, regardless of socioeconomic status, the Y really believes every audience should have access to programs that improve quality of health, improve wellness, improve community inclusiveness. And so we're really pleased to have a group of folks who represent our Black and African American community with us tonight. So this is one of half a dozen groups in the community that the YMCA of Metro Denver is bringing together and really reconvening after strategic planning that we started 3 years ago.
COVID halted the process of rebuilding the community throughout the YMCAs.
COVID really caused us to adapt and evolve very, very quickly.
But now this group is determined to create more extensive plans to better the Metro Denver area.
This audience will help us determine our goals. So we're really at the stage as we go into our next strategic plan of doing a lot of listening, of taking out the programs that have been really successful and getting input from the community. Are those still the programs that meet the greatest needs in the community? So really finding that space where the Y's mission and expertise overlap with unmet community needs. And so as we proceed through these strategic planning listening sessions, we're excited to be able to develop out of that what will be the next 3 years for the Y.
From the Lee E. Schlesman YMCA Program Center in Denver, this is Trenton Sanders.
It's warm in the studio today, but definitely not outside, where we have Grant Helmer with our weather report for the week. Take it away, Grant.
Thanks, ladies. Outside right now, it is cold. It's about 25 degrees right now, and it's not going to get much warmer. Later on today, we're looking at a high of the mid-40s. That's as far as we're going. Today, it's a low of 19, and it's going to be that way throughout the rest of the week. Every day is going to be cloudy, lows of 15, anywhere from 15 to 20. And it's going to be cloudy except for Wednesday and Sunday. We're actually going to have some sun going out. In terms of the actual highs for the week, like I said, 41 today, about high 48s tomorrow, and it's only going to get colder from there. Wednesday, we have plummets down to 30, and it stays cold. Mid-30s, low 40s. It's going to be cold throughout the entire week. So bring a jacket, bring a scarf if you got one, wear some gloves, which I'm unfortunately not doing today. So I can't even feel my fingers at this point, but that's my problem. Anyways, we'll see you guys after the break.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that it's its own unique space too.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2.
3, 2, 1.
COVID-19 has been a really long and difficult fight.
So when we start talking about COVID, I completely get it. It's frustrating.
We've all been impacted one way or another.
The fight against COVID is also changing really quickly.
And it's sometimes really hard to keep up.
So here are a few things we know.
We are not fighting the same virus from 2020.
Right now, new variants are a lot more contagious and need to be taken seriously.
Getting vaccinated and staying boosted is the best way to keep you protected from COVID-19 and help you stay out of the hospital.
Even if you got COVID before, it's important that you go get your COVID booster.
COVID vaccines are safe.
Much safer than getting COVID-19.
We all want this to end sooner than later.
So go ahead and do things.
Go out and live your life, but get vaccinated. Stay boosted.
We can all do our part.
And get back to living. You can go to getvaccineanswers.org for more information.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Brenden Gilliss. Thanks for joining me for Politics. Let's get started. The midterm elections took place on Tuesday and brought with them little change in Colorado's political landscape, but a number of surprises on a national level. Noah Block has the story.
Many commentators expected what was termed a red wave, essentially an overturning of power from the Democrats to the Republicans. However, Republicans underperformed in several key areas, such as Pennsylvania, where Democrat John Fetterman flipped the state's Senate seat to blue. In Colorado, Senator Michael Bennet and Governor Jared Polis were both easily reelected, and results are still coming in on the race for controversial Republican Lauren Boebert to keep her seat in the House. I talked to political science professor Richard Pruse to get an expert's analysis.
Here in Colorado, I was very surprised to see what was essentially pretty low Republican voter turnout. Nationally, I think you're looking at maybe a poor choice of candidates. Almost every midterm, the president's party does poorly, and they're still going to lose the House of Representatives. But now Donald Trump's the big player in that arena, and so he's going to be able to, well, probably announce first. DeSantis is certainly the lead for the second runner-up, I guess. I'll tell you, 15 years ago, I would have said legalization of marijuana was never going to happen. The early adopters are probably going to be initiative states. That could happen maybe 5 years or so, but keep in mind we're still now 10 years out, for the most part, from Colorado's first legalization. You're not going to see much of anything getting done over this next 2 years. Everything's going to be positioning for the 2024 election. Joe Biden today actually signaled that he's still thinking about running in 2024. That still is a pretty strong argument for more of a moderate as opposed to the progressive wing of the Democratic Party.
Brittany Pedersen, a graduate of MSU Denver, recently won election to Colorado's 7th Congressional District in the U.S. House of Representatives. However, she was not the only alumnus in the race. J.P. Lujan graduated from MSU in 2017, majoring in biochemistry and minoring in philosophy, and he came out of college with big goals, one of them being election to public office. Lujan announced his far-flung writing campaign over the summer, shortly after the Democratic primary, and though he failed to place anywhere near as high as Pedersen in representing the district, that includes Arvada, Broomfield, and Lakewood, Lujan says that it was never his intention to win. Our reporter Noah Block spoke to the candidate directly to see what he was trying to accomplish.
If we can help lift people out of poverty, get more affordable housing, then people are less likely to turn to things like crime, anything from petty theft to also just drug abuse to cope. My time here, and it really helped me sharpen my ability to conduct research. It is a learning experience for me, and it is my hope to influence others who are of similar mind.
Veterans Day is a time to honor those who served in the armed forces. Throughout the week, our campus has hosted events meant to express gratitude to those people and what they've done for our country. But on Monday, a veteran came to campus criticizing what the country has done for him. Alex Petrich has more on the story.
Former Marine Lance Corporal Manuel Valenzuela served from 1971 to 1977. Both he and his brother Valente fought in Vietnam, serving our country during one of its bloodiest wars. Both brothers are at risk of being deported for their immigration status. It is their story that forms the foundation of a new documentary titled American Exile, following their lives over several years and why the country they fought for could abandon them. A screening of the documentary was held on Monday, with Manuel present, along with director John J. Valadez and fellow deported U.S. veteran David Berriou. Manuel has made it his mission to stop the deportation of U.S. veterans, arguing that they have earned their citizenship with the sacrifice they have made for our country. He drove this RV from Colorado Springs to Washington, D.C. to personally deliver former President Trump a letter calling for the end of veteran deportation. I had the chance to speak with him and David about the past, present, and future of his cause.
You know, we didn't go to make America rich. We protect America. In return, we only ask one thing, that respect that we did for you. We are Americans. And we can prove it. We died for them. You know, there's guys that willing to die for it. And this, what we get in return, that's a disgrace and dishonor. Can you imagine other countries looking at us, how America looks? Can you imagine that? The most disgusting thing to see is a country throwing away its veterans like we're trash.
For the MetReport, I'm Alex Petrich.
That's all I've got for politics this week, everybody. Stay tuned, because up next, it's Noah Block with sports.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
All right, let's try this.
COVID has been a really long fight, and it's been especially tough on kids.
It's been a rough transition for all of us.
Right now, as a father, I want to give the best tools to protect my kids.
So what can we do to get back to that sense of normalcy?
Every day, parents ask me if their child 5 and above should get vaccinated. The answer is absolutely yes.
My own sons, who are 6 and 8 years old, had their COVID vaccine.
It's an added layer of protection to keep kids from getting any type of severe illness or complications from a COVID infection.
A lot of parents are also wondering if the vaccines are safe. Yes, it's safe and effective for children.
Definitely safer than a COVID infection.
Children get a smaller dosage than adults do.
So if you have questions or concerns about the vaccine, that's okay.
We're here to help.
We have the tools we need to protect kids and help them stay healthy and all get through this together.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to sports. I'm Noah Block, here to give you all the athletic news of the week. Let's get started. One of the biggest prizes a high school could win is the state football championship. This past week kicked off the first round of the Colorado high school football playoffs. In a crazy 48 hours of snow, power outages, and upsets, the first week of playoff football did not disappoint. To start off, in 5A, the number 20 ranked Rocky Mountain Lobos stunned the 13th ranked Mountain Vista Golden Eagles when the Lobos intersected sophomore quarterback Austin Motorzuski in the end zone to advance to the quarterfinals. Down in Boulder, the number 19 ranked Chatfield Chargers made their first appearance in 5A after winning the 4A title last year against the number 14 Fairview Knights. Before the halftime, the Chargers were able to find the end zone twice in 33 seconds. Coming out of the stadium lights went out at French Field, and shortly after the lights came on, Fairview's comeback hopes were put to rest after a fourth quarter stop by the Chargers to come away with a 28-20 win. High school playoff action continues across the state from 6-man to 5A football. Head on over to chsaanow.com to find the brackets, locations, and times of all matchups. Although the Avalanche called Ball Arena and Denver home, this past weekend their home arena was in a completely different country. Over the weekend, the Avs took on the Columbus Blue Jackets at the Nokia Arena in Tampere, Finland, for the annual NHL Global Series. This two-game series saw players Mikko Rantanen and Arturi Leikonen return to their native country. Both players did not disappoint in front of their countrymen as Rantanen would rack up 4 points, including a hat trick in Game 1, while Leikonen would score the opening goal in the second game. The Avs would run away with the games, outscoring the Blue Jackets 11-4. They return home to Ball Arena this weekend to take on the Carolina Hurricanes tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Peter McNabb, longtime voice of the Avs, passed away this week on November 6th. McNabb was drafted 85th overall in the 1972 NHL draft by the Buffalo Sabres out of the University of Denver. McNabb would play 14 seasons, amassing 813 career points while playing for the Sabres, Boston Bruins, Vancouver Canucks, and New Jersey Devils. After retiring, he would become a color commentator with the Devils before moving on to join the Avalanche's team for their inaugural season. He would spend the rest of his career as a member of the Avalanche broadcast before ultimately succumbing to cancer just earlier this week. With the regular season finally over, the MSU Denver volleyball team finished with an astounding 25-1 record that put the Roadrunners at #1 in the national polls going into the postseason. On Thursday night, the Roadrunners beat Fort Lewis 3-0, advancing to the semifinals. Throughout this weekend, the RMAC Volleyball Championships will be held on our campus as the Roadrunners look to take home a conference championship. Although their goal is a national title, you have to take it one step at a time. Our reporter Kieran Nigro had a chance to catch up with Coach Glenn before the weekend kicks off.
Our mission here is to win a national championship. So when you set those kind of big goals early in the season, you have to work really hard and you have to have a lot of determination from your athletes to get it done. So, this group has put work in and day out to get to where we are today. So we're hoping that all that pays off.
Coming off 2 straight league MVPs, Nikola Jokic continues to make history for the Denver Nuggets after reaching another milestone last week. During the Nuggets' win last Thursday against the OKC Thunder, Jokic tallied 15 points, 13 rebounds, and 13 assists. Joker's triple-double may seem like a pedestrian effort at first, but it was this game that led to Jokic surpassing the great Wilt Chamberlain for all-time triple-doubles by a center. This puts Jokic at 6th all-time in games with a triple-double, behind LeBron James, Jason Kidd, Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson, and Russell Westbrook, all players that already have been or will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. You can catch Jokic and the Nuggets back in action tonight as they take on the Celtics in Boston at 5 p.m. local time. That about wraps it up, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time for sports.
25-1 for the girls volleyball team. Wow, that's amazing.
That's crazy. They're literally on a roll.
Yes, they're killing it.
I remember my middle school volleyball days on C team.
So. Those are different times. Well, that's all we've got for today's show.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MyMetMedia and on our website at mymetmedia.com.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful day.